Hello and welcome to Thoughts Can Heal podcast. I am your host, Denise Lynn, and I am so grateful that you are taking a few minutes out of your precious day to spend with me. So today I wanted to jump on and talk about a book that I've been reading over the past couple days, and it is called Think and Grow Rich. It's kind of a riff on the old book from the early 1900s, Think and Grow Rich. But this is Think and Grow Rich, and it's written by a wonderful author named Pam Grout. So in this book, she really dives really deep into the reason we should be grateful and why it's so important to be on the frequency of gratitude and joy, like as much as possible. And this is a subject that I absolutely love. I've done other podcasts on the power of gratitude and having a gratitude practice, but she really dives really deep into this book, and I have learned so much over the past couple days. So like everything else, whenever I learn something that is helping me, of course, I want to shout it out to the world and tell other people so it can also help them. That's basically what this whole podcast is about. So this is going to be a short podcast. I definitely suggest and recommend, checking the book out if you're interested. I have had a gratitude practice probably for at least the last 10 years. And most of the time, I do it first thing in the morning before I do anything else. And I always find that the days that I don't do it don't run as smoothly as the days that when I do. I understand now, it's because when you are in a state of gratitude, you are on that highest frequency. Well, love is the highest frequency, but you're up there with love. So being in appreciation, being grateful, writing it down, or even if you just go for a walk in the morning, and oftentimes I'll go for a walk and I call it my gratitude walk, and I'll just look around at maybe the trees or squirrels or flowers and the sky, clouds, and just give thanks to all those things. And I know it might sound woo-woo or weird or whatever, but I do know that when we are in a state of, appreciation and gratitude, we feel better. And it has been proven scientifically that it helps with anxiety, it helps with depression, it helps with abundance. So what I want to talk about today is something that there was a practice in this book. And the step one was proclaim first thing every morning, something amazing is going to happen to me today. Or you can even say something magical is going to happen to me today. And then the second step, she said, is to look for signs and blessings every day, like different ones each day, not the same ones, not the same blessings, find something different. And then she says to text 3 blessings each day to somebody or email them, or I don't know, maybe you could tell somebody. I told my husband yesterday. So anyhow, this is why I'm so excited. So I've been reading the book the past 3 days now. And yesterday I woke up. I have a lot going on right now. My youngest son broke his pinky finger, and he has to have surgery next Wednesday. So I'm just going to throw that out just to kind of set the tone for where I'm going here. So I've been dealing with doctors. Today is Friday. I was dealing with insurance and doctors and trying to get referrals for literally 3 days. And I think it was Tuesday, I spent 7 hours on the phone back and forth from the doctors to the insurance company. And I'm just I've been very upset about it because this surgery needs to happen quickly. You can't wait with the broken bones. So in any case, I've been really frazzled. I've been reading the book though, so I wake up yesterday and say, something amazing. Before I even got out of bed, something amazing is going to happen to me today. Something amazing. All right, so I get out of bed. I go to make a phone call. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm calling the insurance company. We had an appointment yesterday at 9:30 in the morning with the surgeon, and we needed this referral to get there. And as of the day before, 5 o'clock, it still hadn't gotten to the surgeon. So I had to get up early and straight away call, to find out. So I'm on the phone. I start to call my health insurance company to see if they had approved it, because that's what they were waiting on. And as I'm on the phone, the surgeon office called and said, "We have received the referral, so we're good to go this morning." So I was like, Immediately I was like, oh my gosh, that's a blessing. It's a blessing. So I go out throughout the day. We go to the surgeon, and I get there. And normally I get very anxious, especially when something's wrong with one of my children in doctor's offices. And I was doing some deep breathing like I share with you all, and doing the techniques that I share, just keeping myself calm. And I normally do end up with a little bit of like an anxiety attack when I'm in situations like that, even still. So I say to myself before I leave the house, everything's going to be okay. And I put everything into God's hands, and I said, you're not going to have anxiety today. Everything's going to work out. So we get to the doctor's office, absolutely no anxiety. And to top it off, the surgeon was probably one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. All the staff they were so pleasant. There was no waiting. There were no issues. It was like the smoothest appointment I've ever been to. So immediately when I get home, I'm like, wow, now that's a blessing. And then what else happened? I guess that's it. So I'm sitting down last night, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that exercise. I woke up this morning and said that. I proclaimed first thing in the morning, something amazing is going to happen to me today. And then it says, look for signs, which I did throughout the day. And then what I did was I wrote down the 3 signs. Sorry, my dog's barking. So in any case, I think it's really cool. And I did it again this morning, and I've already had a couple different blessings. And what this does, my friends, is it changes your perception. So we're so programmed to think about our problems and, think negatively. Part of that's the way we're made up. I mean, part of it just goes back even to ancient days, because we had to survive. So a lot of our negativity bias is related to that fact that, we humans want to stay safe, and we have this survival thing going on. So when you're in this mode, you're grateful, you're perceiving things differently, so you can see these blessings. Now, all those things that happened to me, they might not seem like a big deal to you, but they were a big deal to me. Getting that referral was so important to me. Now, normally, if I wasn't being aware of this, I wouldn't have seen them as blessings. And my whole point is, how many things throughout the day do we just overlook and focus on what's not going right in our lives? So that's something I want you to contemplate. And I really encourage you to, check out her work. She has a couple other books. I bought 3 of her books the other day, and I'm really excited to jump into them. I've heard some wonderful results. If you're into manifesting in Law of Attraction, I definitely would check her out, because supposedly, I think it's called E Squared. That book, there are many, 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 many testimonials of how it has helped them, and they manifest. People are manifesting lots of money and different jobs and houses and stuff like that. So anyhow, I'm into that kind of stuff, and if you are too, check her out. But at the very least, I don't know, what's wrong with waking up every day and proclaiming something amazing is going to happen to me today? What can it hurt? And what could it hurt to be grateful? What could it hurt to start a gratitude practice daily? It's not going to hurt because it's going to put you on the highest frequency. And ultimately, it's really not the money or the things that we want in life. We want abundance. To me is happiness. Abundance to me is, family, friendships, and not that all these things are always perfect, but that's abundance to me. Being able to work from home and, work in my pajamas. I love that. That's abundance to me. Being able to have this podcast and share these great things with you, that's abundance to me. So in any case, check it out or start this little practice. Again, I'm going to go over it real quick. Proclaim first thing every morning, something amazing is going to happen to me today. Step 2, look for signs and blessings every day. Look for signs and blessings instead of problems. And then 3, text 3 blessings each day to somebody else. Now, again, I didn't text it to anyone. I just wrote it down and told my husband. So you can do that too. But it's a really cool practice. Again, I've already found blessings today. And I proclaimed it again this morning. And I'm going to continue doing that because I don't see how it could, not benefit me. All right, my friends, before I end, let's take a couple deep breaths together. Today we are going to do, it's called the physiological sigh. If you've practiced with me before, listen to other podcasts, I'm sure you're familiar with it. If not, this is an excellent breathing technique that can keep you calm, especially if you are feeling nervous or anxious. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose, and then you're going to take an extra sip of breath at the top of the breath, and then you're going to exhale slowly out of your mouth, as slow as you can with a longer exhale. All right, so it goes something like this. Deep breath in, extra sip, exhale out. Again. Two more times. Deep breath in. Exhale out. One last time. All right, you can continue doing that. I'm wishing you the best today and every day. Until next time, take care. Namaste.